and I went to go ahead and pick something up. I'm walking over to the location, and about 3 blocks from where we live, I saw this, there's this Asian guy walking in front of me, minding his own business, hands in the pocket. It's kind of cold today. And he's walking forward, and then all of a sudden, this guy, kind of waves his hand, and he starts following him. And I think that's kind of weird because it's strange that this guy who seems like he's just keeping to himself, he doesn't have a phone out or anything like that. He knows this guy who's waving at him, and they don't seem that to talk. The Asian guy crosses the street, and then the guy follows him, and I can see the Asian guy is just keeping his head down, not saying anything. And the guy is, trying to talk to him or get his attention or something like that. I don't really think too much of it, but I'm just, looking at what's going on because this guy was, directly in front of me in the beginning. So while they're crossing the street, I see the guy push the Asian guy and say, you know, how come you won't help me out? How come you won't help me out? I need some money. And I think that the guy was, he wanted to aggressively get money from the Asian guy. I don't think he was trying to rob him or anything, but I think that he was doing some sort of aggressive panhandling. So, I see that. I continue to walk forward, and I pass by a grocery store, which is less than a minute from where this incident occurred, and I see this guy getting tossed out of the grocery store. He's telling the manager or the employee who brought him outside, "I'm broke, can you give me $1?" And I just kind of think to myself, "Holy crap, this is not good. This is not good because this was around 2:45 p.m. on today on a weekday. And for me to see this kind of behavior, this is something that I normally wouldn't see until unless I'm out late at night, right? But it kind of spooks me because I see this aggressive behavior. I see someone pushing someone who's just minding their own business. And this Asian guy was walking right in front of me. So had this guy decided to target me instead, I I could have been assaulted. And it's just like, what do you do in that kind of situation? So I'm really, really thankful nothing happened to me. So I met up with the person for the Buy Nothing group. They were giving away laundry detergent. And I thought, oh, okay, I could use laundry detergent. I'll take it. I wasn't the first one to reply to the post, but nobody wanted the laundry detergent except me. So so while I'm walking over there, I see this bright yellow bag, this bright orange bag in the recycle bin. And I think to myself, holy crap, that is probably a person who has a good amount of resources is getting rid of stuff. So I see this in the recycle bin. I also see this, and this is a $35 candle. Yes, it's mostly used, but you know what the thing is? I have this great idea. I'm gonna go and refill it with more candle wax because I do have candle wax that I dived from. So I see this, and then I look at the recycle stuff because this is clear bags now. This is New York. And this is what I see. First of all, you guys might not be familiar with this one, Max Mara, but I'm sure some of you guys might be familiar with this brand. See that? Celine. And then we got Chloe. And we got more Celine. And then I found, what was it? Where'd it go? I found 2 little cute glass cups. And they're a little chipped on the top, but I thought, hey, they would be kind of cute if I wanted to make a cute little flower arrangement on there. I don't know the maker. It's like Thomas or something. But the thing that I want to share with you guys is you guys really need to be mindful for your recycling because with what I'm seeing, for this person, I'm thinking that they probably didn't think much of anything. It's just a recycle bin. They just had it out for the recycling. Usually recycles on, I think, Wednesdays. Oh, and I also picked this up, which is perfect because it's going to be perfect since I don't have a watering can for George, my plant. So he's going to be very happy having a watering can. Right now I'm using a coffee pitcher. Yeah, a coffee pitcher because that's a spout. But this is even more perfect. Yeah, I was thinking about buying one from Jamali, but I thought, just use what I have. Anyway, so with what's going on right now, truly do not make yourself a target of a home invasion or burglary or getting robbed. I think this person had good intentions about putting this in the recycle bin, but I'm gonna put it out here. Unless you live in like maybe an apartment complex where you have anonymity, it's or a multi complex unit. If you live in a single house and you're throwing this kind of stuff away, this signals to people who might be desperate to rob you, and it's just not worth it. I can tell a lot from a person or the people who live there based on what I'm seeing inside of the recycle bin. Same thing with the trash cans as well. See, so for this person, what is my gauge? My gauge is this person has probably a good amount of funds, either that or they're in sizable amount of debt, either one. Um, they like better quality things. They like going to Whole Foods. They like their designer clothes. They like buying stuff from either Neiman Marcus or Sephora or Bloomingdale's, that kind of thing. They have a sizable amount of stuff. If I'm only seeing the hangers, it kind of makes you think, what kind of stuff do they have inside of their residence? It's not a good thing to kind of, have in the trash, especially with now. If anybody looked through our trash, there would be absolute crap inside of there. I know what we're tossing out. It's basically cardboard boxes, food boxes, yogurt cups, cat stuff, like cat poop, cat puke. Nothing of high value, and I'm very aware that our recycle bags in New York is clear, and there are divers who go around in like Upper West Side, Upper East Side. This is where all the people who have money live, and they frequent the recycle bins. They go where these people are, and then they will find things like Burberry jackets or designer stuff. People just toss it out, and they really don't care because they can easily replace it. But for the average person, I would just say, don't make yourself a target. Truly don't. I took this stuff, for this. I figure, hey, this can go into my closet. I have some plastic hangers. This could definitely use an upgrade for sure. But yeah, it just makes me kind of worried for them, and I hope everything's okay. Overall, for where we live, it concerns me. It truly concerns me when I see how people are on the street. So yeah, I heard two people ask for say that they didn't have money or they were asking for money, and then one person directly asked me for money while I was walking back home. So when I was 1 block away from where we live, someone asked me for money, and I was just thinking to myself, oh gosh. Like it's really just a sign of the times. And you guys saw in one of my past dreams, I was coming home from dumpster diving. I had about 52 bags of gummy bears. I had all those boxes of alcoholic gummies, and I became a target for someone who was trying to pull that broken bottle scam on me. So the broken bottle scam, in case you guys never heard of it, someone will accidentally bump into you, then they will drop their bottle of alcohol and then tell you to pay for it. They're going to say that it was your fault, and they might be a little aggressive. They're going to demand that you make it up to them in terms of buying them new alcohol or giving them cash. A lot of tourists will just give them the cash. They don't want to cause trouble, and they'll be like, okay, here's what you want. Here's some money to recoup for what happened. They just want the issue to go away, and it's not good to make yourself a target. So it just really made me think about safety. And I want to just stress that to you guys. This kind of stuff, someone might think, oh, it's innocent, right? Like, yeah, I want to do good and I want to recycle this kind of stuff. But if this is out on the street in a plastic bag, people don't, people don't really think about what's going on around them. This will make them a target. If I was walking down the street with this bag, I tell you straight up, someone would easily ask, people either ask me for money. I wouldn't be surprised if I get assaulted because people would assume I have money or lots of money, right? Since I'm carrying that kind of bag. I do not feel comfortable carrying any luxury bag out on the street. I see people sometimes walking around with Chanel bags in shopping malls. In my opinion, that's idiotic. Especially if you're a female and you're alone, I understand that people want to look nice, but right now there's just too much uncertainty out there. And I think people, like someone said, people are anxious. And if people don't have money, what they're going to do is they're going to say, what's a way for me to get fast cash? And if you see someone walking around with a Chanel bag, that's an easy thing to flip. You can try to sell that in a pawn shop. You can try flip it to someone. I've heard about people in New York, they will steal a bike and then they will tell someone else, hey, I have a Cannondale over here. It's $100. Do you want it? And that way, the person who buys the bike, right? It's pretty, you pretty much know that, hey, if someone's trying to sell one of those expensive bikes for $100, then it's stolen. But it's a way to make fast cash. It's a way to be kind of untraceable, and it's not good. So no expensive, I don't carry any expensive stuff outside. You guys know what kind of handbag I have. I have a sports sack bag. People might think it looks dowdy. You know what? It's a great bag. It's light, it's cheap, it's washable. In case anything happens to it, it's very easy for me to replace that bag. For the sports sack, I highly recommend. This is my bag. I highly recommend buy this stuff pre-owned. Don't buy it new. Really no sense buying this stuff new. It's made out of parachute material. And yeah, if I want to, I could just throw this in the washing machine. This ribbon, you see this ribbon over here? It kind of fades over time. But you know what? That's okay. This was a $5 bag. I bought it off Mercari. I'm not worried about this at all. That kind of bag does not make me a target. Having a expensive bag will make me a target. I think safety is incredibly important at this time. If any of you guys, have a nice designer bag or nice designer wallet, I would suggest, switch it out for something that's more nondescript. You don't need to carry around a Louis Vuitton wallet. Or a Louis Vuitton handbag. It just makes you a target. In Hawaii, when I was growing up, I used to see a lot of women have these like beautiful golden bangles. So they used to have these like Hawaiian bracelets, and then it has like black stamped words on here. And they used to have like a bunch of them. I used to see that all the time when I was growing up. However, when crime started to increase in Hawaii, theft was, you don't want to get robbed. You're worried about theft. I don't really see that jewelry out anymore. I can be on the street and I will rarely see that kind of jewelry out. And it just saddens me because I think it's a really beautiful piece of jewelry, and most likely this kind of jewelry is not getting shown off. It's not, being displayed as how it should be. You can see the cats running around. And that's one of the other reasons why you don't see me with jewelry. I don't feel safe with jewelry. I do have, pieces, but they're really inexpensive. It's like $30 or less, or I don't want to make myself a target. In Hawaii, I would not feel too on edge wearing certain things, but in New York, with what I see going on, with all these people trying to pull scams, with people getting assaulted, I saw it today, like I said, it's just not worth it. I would recommend, dress nicely, but don't make yourself a target. Be very mindful what kind of bag you have, what kind of wallet you have. Yeah. And I would also suggest, I know some people really like their luxury cars, their Mercedes, their Porsches, and Oreo, what are you nosing that thing for? Their Mercedes, their Porsches, their BMWs. And it just I just kind of think it's not worth it. I really don't think it's worth it to have that kind of stuff. I just see it as a bullseye. It's sad that I think that if you have nicer items, it'll make you a target, but that's the reality of things now. If I carry too much stuff on me, people notice this stuff, and they think, like that one guy, the broken bottle guy scam. He said, I know you have a card, I know you went shopping, I can see all the stuff that you're carrying. And that really affected me, in the sense that I'm very cognizant about what I have on me, what I'm carrying on me. If I have a lot of stuff, I'm coming out of the subway, I would be a prime target for any kind of scam. People would say, "Man, look at this chick. She's such a spendaholic. She just must have spent like boatloads of cash." At a grocery store or something. And that's not the case. That's not the case. Let's see. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know how election results is going to be. I have a theory of what's going to happen. My theory is this. I think that if Trump does not win, you're going to have a lot of people shouting, it's not accurate. It's because of the mail-in votes. It's, they need to challenge that in the courts. And, people might get really pissed off. People might really get pissed off. I know that there are very passionate voters out there, and, I respect people's passion for their candidate. But in the event that people start rioting and breaking store windows, I don't see the logic, and I don't see why people would do that. Hold on, hold on. What are you doing? Oh, Clinton knocked something over. Yeah, I don't respect that. I don't respect people damaging other people's property, especially hurting their own communities. Because what funds that kind of stuff? Taxpayer money. Taxpayer money. If you burn down a park or something like that, if you do any arson activities, it's gonna have to come out of somewhere. And it's with the way governments are now, and how I heard, like, New York has a big deficit, since people aren't working, and cost is kind of increasing uh, for New York. It's, yeah, you're just making it worse. And yeah, what happens is that they start cutting services. You do less trash pickup. They cut corners, and that's not good. So I really hope that there isn't some big damage that comes out of the election that causes people possibly to lose their jobs. For retail workers especially. I've said it. I think I said this in a stream yesterday. If anyone if anyone decides to loot, or if anyone decides to destroy a grocery store, like let's say a Target, all those people who work inside of that Target, they're not going to have jobs to come to, depending on how bad the damage is, right? If a whole bunch of people swarm into a grocery store, take out things, steal a bunch of stuff, knock things over, take out the registers, the people who work there aren't going to be able to go into work the next day. In fact, not maybe there'll be some people, who do damage control, but most people, it's, you don't really have a need for hiring everyone at full staff if they have to bring the police in to do an investigation, and then bring up a crew to do cleanup because all this broken glass all over the place. Yeah, so I just hope that whatever happens as the results, it does not cause so much destruction or property damage that affects the livelihood of other people, because it's hard for people to um, I'm getting distracted by the cat. It's hard for people to make money right now. I see it around. I see people, you know asking for money. I see people trying to run more scams. I think in New York, we're only going to have more people running scams as time goes on, as long as this situation continues. And that's just how things are. Yeah. So, um, so Adrian, there is, okay, so I don't know where you are, but we live in New York, we live in Brooklyn, and I volunteered at a food pantry before, and I kind of, I could say that I know some knowledge about what's going on. At food pantries, they're only supposed to have food about, they're only supposed to collect once a month. And you get something like 5 pounds of chicken with like a small bag of rice, like maybe 3 pounds of rice, and then maybe like 6 apples and 6 oranges and like three canned goods, and that's it. So that's supposed to last a family a month, and that's supposed to be supplemental, in addition to food stamps. And so some people now, though, they hit up that food pantry every single week because of the social distancing stuff. There is no system to really check in people. So before, how the protocol was is that they get into the building, then the person looks them up on a computer, and then from there they say, oh, okay, you haven't been here in a month. We will give you food because you haven't checked in a month. Now, because of social distancing and because the lines are like 200, 300 people a week, they they don't check people in. They just, whoever's kind of in line, they just get food. And there are some people who come in every week, and the people who work there notice it, but they don't turn them away because they say, these people need food. I think that, from what I see around, I think that there are more people who do need food. I've also read online that people complain that their food stamps are running out. And I don't know how food stamps are. I don't know if it's just because of mismanagement of funds or because there's less money coming in. I don't know anything about food stamps in New York, but those people, they go over to the community fridges to try and get, oh my goodness, they go over to the community fridges to get extra food. And it's not like I've said, the community fridges are not just for people in need. Anybody can go over to the fridge. The whole idea behind the community fridge is to reduce food waste. It's to rescue food. If you want to, if you're passing by a fridge and you want to grab something, go right ahead and grab something. I've shown you guys on stream. I passed by a fridge that I've never been to before. I saw a bottle of kombucha in there. I grabbed the bottle of kombucha. Now, for that fridge, ideally, if you take something, you should go ahead and replenish the fridge at a later date. It's not like a library system where anybody's keeping track of you, but it's if you can give, then give. The fridges, I'm kind of concerned about it because it's winter time. I won't say most of the fridges, but I'll say some of the fridges, right? We'll see some of the fridges. Some of the fridges are stocked by divers. So you have people who are food rescuers, people who, intercept things, or they work with like stores, and they'll put the food inside of there. However, the food inside of those fridges can go really quickly. You can put food inside of there, and then 1 hour later it'll be completely wiped out. There's also times where if someone puts food in there, and I've seen it myself, you put a whole bunch of food inside of there, someone can go inside and grab all the high value items, in one fell swoop. I know a person who put in about 20 bags of gummy bears inside a community fridge, and I think each gummy bear bag was about $3. It's one of those Asian gummies. They didn't think much of it. They put it in about, I'd say 9 o'clock p.m., 9 or 10 p.m. 30 minutes later, all the gummies were gone. My sneaking suspicion is someone came in and swooped all those gummy bears, one single person, which is why I advocate for stagnating the stuff. If you have a whole bunch of stuff, don't put all all the stuff in at one time if you can avoid it. If it's not refrigerated and you can make several trips, do it that way, because you do not want to. For me personally, I do not want to go and spend all this work transporting just to have someone say, "Oh, hey, look, it's all this free stuff. Let me take all of it." Yeah, so there's different opinions. Some people would say there's nothing wrong with it because maybe that person will share it with other people. Other people would say no, that's it's kind of like, yeah, even if they share it outwards, it's other people who go over to the fridge, they might not have anything to grab. So yeah, it kind of depends on how you see it. But I do think there are more people who are in need of food and who are hungry and who are low on cash. And yeah, I can't say if people if people on food stamps don't get enough money, because I don't know that much about food stamps. We do have resources in Brooklyn, but it might not be enough. It might not be enough for people. Who knows? Yeah, staggering it out. I know he's putting his scent on all these hangers. Oreo, Oreo. So, yeah, it's just Oreo. What are you? Jeez, please, Oreo. Oreo, you're knocking things over in my stream. Come on now. I gave him food too. He feels like he has this burst of energy with all this stuff. Yeah, I know. Him and his string. So, uh, yeah, I wonder how things are gonna be in the next week. I wonder how things are gonna be as time goes on. I just wonder. I don't know if it's just a coincidence, but I think there are more scammers outside. I definitely recognize there's more people asking me for money. It's not like I had this stuff, the prominent names out in my bag. I had hangers sticking outside of my bag, but that was about it. It's just, who knows? Maybe people think that, hey, if this chick is walking around and she has some food sticking outside of her bag, then maybe the whole thing has food inside of it, or it doesn't hurt to ask. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I just kind of worry about what's going to happen in the future. Oreo, come on. Come on, Oreo. Come on. Stop knocking things over, Oreo. Yeah, the whole thing, and that's something that happens with the community fridges. People have made complaints about that, saying that if you give out free food, then people are going to be encouraged to take as much as they can. I've been to the community fridges a bunch of times. I don't really check them out very often anymore. It's quite a walk, and um yeah, I used to check it out a lot when I used to be volunteering at that food pantry, because that was maybe like 2 blocks away. But now, since I'm not volunteering there anymore, um, there's no reason for me to just make the walk over to the community fridge just to, see what's in the refrigerator. But yeah, that's one of the things. There's a concern that, hey, if people know that there is a bunch of items inside of that fridge, and it always changes, right? So right now, like for instance, yesterday we rescued a whole bunch of yogurts, but those yogurts that we rescued, some of their yogurts, I've never seen them before. It's kind of like what you get is a random smorgasbord of stuff. You might have some really expensive yogurts one day, you might have like the really cheap Yoplait yogurts kind of stuff. And Yeah, so when if people sense this, right, they might say, "Oh crap, there's some high value meat items inside of there. Oh man, if I see one, I should take all of them. If I see salami and cheese slices inside of that fridge, I should take everything." And I get it, it's this whole mindset of you might not see it again, and if it's free, you should stock up, right? And yeah, I completely understand why that mentality occurs. So yeah, it's just yeah, a lot of things that I'm noticing lately, and yeah. So I gotta put this stuff away. I need to make dinner, and I just wanted to show you guys the stuff that I picked up today. Encourage you guys, be mindful of what goes in your recycle bin. I think that this person, whoever had these things, they would have been better off donating it. This stuff is not recyclable, and one of the reasons why it's not recyclable, it's mixed. From my understanding of this stuff, like it's mixed materials. So if you want to recycle the metal, like you have to take it out from the plastic, right? And it kind of gets to be a pain in the ass. Same as this candle, right? You recycle the glass. What, you think the recycle guy's gonna make sure they take the wax out? No way. No way. Yes, I did vote. I already voted. That was Lewis's one. That was Lewis's one. So the one that you guys saw was Lewis's one. Hawaii's one is prepaid. So that's why I was complaining. That's why I was complaining about the thing that was going on. I was for New York, because you have to pay for your postage, you have to go over to the post office. Alternatively, you could just put it in the mailbox without any postage and just have it charged over to the Board of Elections, right? But I thought, frick it, I'll just walk it over there, see how things are, and it cost me about a week of time or more. I forgot. And I wish I did it earlier, but at least I got my vote in. So the cutoff for postmark is November 3rd. Yesterday it was postmarked November 2nd, and then I think they tally up everything completely or something like that on November 10th. I saw it on a New York website of sorts, government website. So I don't know. Is today election day results really valid, or are they not gonna really show the full result until November 15th? I don't know how this kind of stuff will go. Yeah, I'm not, from what I heard, it's like you can't even recycle glassware from what I've heard, because it has a different boiling point, a different melting point. That's what I heard. I'm not too sure if that's true or not. But they said like ceramics, like dishware, that's not recyclable. Some people put that in there. Other people, they'll drop off clothes in their recycle bin. No, that's New York City does not accept clothes like that. But there was an attempt made. There was an attempt made. Oh, by the way, in case I never showed you this hanger, look at this cool hanger. It's metal. I don't know what brand it is, but I thought it was kind of cool because I was like, ooh, it's a metal hanger. This stuff is not gonna. This stuff is really good for my like heavy turtleneck. Actually, for my heavy turtlenecks, I should be using something like this. I also grabbed a whole bunch of these nondescript ones because when we have sweaters or jackets, it's better to have something like this to kind of hold the weight rather than like a thin hanger. So I'm always on the lookout for these kind of things. You guys know I get cold easily. You guys might have seen my last video that I did. So because I have that, I figure, hey, let me get some of these and then put all my jackets on there. Yeah, so I will talk to you guys later. I need to get going, but I hope that whatever the election results is, people are okay with it. I hope that there's no violence, and I really hope that stores aren't, destroyed or damaged to the point people can't come in to work at that store. Yeah, it's. I really don't want anyone to lose hours over election day. Oh, he is burning the calories. He is. He probably burned a whopping 3 calories running around. But I tell you this, Oreo eats more calories than he takes it. He burns off. That's for sure. Because you'll see this small burst of energy, and then he'll sleep for about 3 to 4 hours. Yeah. So he does everything in very short spurts, and you guys see his activity level. But rest assured, as someone who sees Oreo Cat all the time, he is not a high energy cat. He, compared to Clinton, he is extremely, extremely limited in energy. He is a professional napper, though, it seems. Did Lewis board up the shop? I don't know if he did. I have no idea. I recommended to him to board up the shop last week. I said, hey, in case anything happens, you probably should board up the shop. And I don't know if he did or not, but I hope that if anything happens, that nothing happens to the store. Yeah, I need higher heels to go with that dress. Yeah. You know what though, Anja? That dress, I cannot go on a bike in there, so I could wear high heels with that dress. But I think I'm just gonna keep that as like an indoor only dress unless we go out to a dinner where I do wear heels, and that would require being in a car. And yeah. Like a car, not a bafang, because the motor on the bike is gonna rip that dress over to shreds. Oh my goodness, 17 degrees. Yeah. Why treat myself nice? No, I mean, what do you mean? Treat myself nice. Like if I'm indoors, then I'm not gonna walk around with heels indoors. Not in the apartment. Unless, I'm streaming something or something like that. Yeah. But going out on the street with that kind of clothes, no way. Unless I'm with someone else like Lewis, I would not be walking down the street with wearing that dress by myself in heels. No way. I don't even feel comfortable showing my knees when I walk out. Yeah, so when I'm going grocery shopping, listen to this. I have intentionally made sure that I look terrible. And when I say terrible, like I'll wear a tie-dye face mask with some crazy looking leggings and then some solid color print top, and nothing matches, right? Nothing matches at all. And I think, okay, no one's gonna pay attention to me. And then what happens? So I go out grocery shopping. I look like a mismatched mess. And then I walk back home, and then some guy tells me I'm beautiful. I'm like, oh no, no, I don't want any attention. Just leave me alone. Yeah, I don't like it when people talk to me out on the street, because let me put it this way. There is a difference between you can just tell by the tone of voice. It's not like how guys approach in Hawaii. Like guys who approach in Hawaii are kind of awkward and kind of, that's just me. They're kind of awkward, kind of lame. But guys in New York, they're more aggressive, and I yeah, no, no. I used to make fun of Hawaii guys and what I hear, how they pick up chicks and things like that, and my friends. And now I realize, like, man, geez, that's so freaking innocent. Oh, I thought it was Anja. Anya? Oh, well, I don't want to. Well, first of all, this dress is extremely low cut, and then second of all, it's really long, so I would have to wear high heels. There's no reason for me to walk out on the street to the grocery store in high heels, or walk around the neighborhood in high heels. What do you think of Hawaiian independence? You know what? I support it. I do think what happened was absolutely terrible. However, I kind of I haven't. Let me put it this way. I think that everything that happened in the past definitely needs to be recognized. I think that we need to have that more in the history books. And yeah, if you read the story about how what happened with Hawaii in the US, it's very sad. It's very sad. It's still a struggle about what happens today. And I kind of think like what happened if Hawaii, if the US completely withdrew from Hawaii and said, "Okay, okay, we're going to give you back your lands, and we're going to withdraw the whole US from it." Kind of just makes me think, what happens? Are Hawaiians happy to be Americans? I can't speak for everybody in Hawaii, but um, for me, it's like I have no problem with it. But I think that who people who were were negatively impacted by what happened, and some people lost their lands, and they were kind of driven out. From my understanding, it's that's not good. That's not good. And it's from what I've been hearing too, a sizable amount of the homeless population in Hawaii are native Hawaiians, and I really think that there needs to be more land given to them. So it's like a person who is a native Hawaiian should not be homeless. That's just my thinking, especially with this annexation thing. But yeah, I can't really comment on that because my my parents, they weren't born in Hawaii. They were from the United States, or they immigrated from China. So yeah. Yeah, I don't keep in track with too much about the movement and how it's going, but yeah, I think I really don't think that people who are native Hawaiian, should ever be homeless. I really think that there needs to be land that provides for them. And yeah, it saddens me when I hear about people getting priced out from Hawaii, and their whole family lived in Hawaii for many, 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 many years, and their ancestors are native Hawaiians, and you see the prices of real estate in Hawaii. It's freaking ridiculous. It's freaking ridiculous. It's basically like New York City pricing. If you want a house in Hawaii in Honolulu, you're looking at about $900,000 if you or more. If you want a apartment in near the ocean in Honolulu, I'm talking like Kaka'ako area, you're looking about 600,000. Um, yeah. You can live in cheaper apartments, but most likely you might end up with like a roach infestation, or it's kind of crappy, and homeowners maintenance fees. Oh my gosh. The apartment that I lived in Hawaii, the maintenance fee. Okay, listen to this. Building was built in 1960s. It's not a luxury building at all, okay? It's not a luxury building. Our maintenance fee is $800 a month. And that's because the pipes are so old, and they spent like $1 million redoing the fire alarm system. There's some allegations that some people on the board are pushing for repairs for this building, cosmetic repairs, like making these unnecessary upgrades because they own firms that do this kind of stuff, using the maintenance income from the residents as a little piggy bank. It's terrible. It's terrible. Yeah. So I don't know. I'll have to see how things are. And let's see. On an unrelated note, this is going to be a boring thing, but I don't know. So Lewis has really been liking mashed potatoes lately. So I've been buying him mashed potatoes, and I didn't try this brand, but I heard it was good, and it was only like $1.99 for 13.3 ounces. So I'm very curious to see how this is. And then I also got this crappy box of mac and cheese because I've never tried it before, and I was kind of curious to see how mac and cheese from Banquet tastes like. And yeah, and then I also bought mayo, which is on sale for $3.50. Yeah, $3.50 for a 30-ounce jar. I don't know if that's a good price or not. I don't keep track of New York prices very well, but yeah, on sale. I have a good feeling it's not that much over whatever the cost for the grocery store is, so I try to buy things on sale. You know, I don't want to pay this Brooklyn, New York markup thing. Yeah. And yeah. Goodness. Mm. Yeah, it was $3.50. The mayonnaise was $3.50 on sale. Usually I think it's like $5, $6, $5.39 or something like that. I really like this mayonnaise. If you guys have any other brands that you like, is Hellman's the same as Best? I forgot. I think it is. Yeah, Best. Yeah, so in Hawaii I always see Best. So there's like interesting because like some brands in East Coast is different from the West Coast. So I think there's like Edie's, EDYS, and that's usually dryers. I might be remembering it wrong on the West Coast. Kind of surreal to see like different brand names. It's like the same thing, but they have different names on the versus East and West Coast. Yeah. So yeah, that's all I bought. I just bought the mayonnaise, the mac and cheese, and the Idaho spuds. Came up to a whopping $6 something. Yeah. But yeah. But yeah, it's just grocery budgets like that price for grocery store is fine, but overall like regular price stuff I would say buy Amazon food delivery. We have an Amazon food delivery coming in I think later today. No, actually it was Whole Foods because they had 50% off their pizzas, so I think I bought one or two pizzas, and then I had to buy a whole bunch of vegetarian or vegan stuff. So that's most of our grocery budget. And most of a huge majority, I would say 75% of our grocery budget is spent on like Gardein and like those vegetarian meats, you know, those like that kind of stuff. It adds up so quickly. Like I wish this stuff was cheaper, but I can't get it at any cheaper price. I live the life of luxury. Oh, I know. I can't, you know what? I think like it's very easy to just like if I show the stuff off, it's like, oh yeah, look at my closet tour with my nice expensive. People are like, holy crap, this chick is such a gold digger. And I'd be like, no, I'm not a gold digger. I'm an apple digger. Get it right. I'm not a gold digger. Oh, okay. So, you know what? Okay. Here's the thing. Okay, you want to know the secret to really good mashed potatoes? I'm going to tell you this straight up. It is putting garlic paste. Now, he's getting sick of certain ones, but not all of them. You have to put no. Oh, you know what? I'm gonna make a separate stream, and then I'll tell you how I make mashed potatoes. I'm not gonna show you guys, but I'm gonna actually. Should I show you guys? I don't know how I feel about like cooking on stream. No, you just add a whole bunch of butter. You add a whole bunch of butter. I am a big fan of Kerrygold butter. I am always going to be a big fan of Kerrygold butter. Let me show you guys this. Okay, this butter is something I will never skimp out on. For sure. If you buy it on Amazon, I think it's like $3.79. If you buy it at Trader Joe's, it's also around that price. But Kerrygold butter, this is the best thing ever. Okay, I will scrimp out on other things in my life, but I absolutely will not compromise on my Kerrygold butter for this. Like no, 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 no. If you guys haven't tried this, highly recommend it. I have a family member in Hawaii. Okay, they are so frugal. They are very money conscious. They keep their funds. They're very money conscious. They stick to a habit. They are a huge, incredible saver. And one thing they will not skimp out on, Kerrygold butter. If you guys never ever tried this on popcorn, it is amazing. I know sometimes it's like $5. I would highly recommend try this butter. Just buy it once. Try it with like popcorn. Like put this on your plain popcorn. Oh, it's so good. I used to pop popcorn at in Hawaii. I used to have a whirly pop. I put in like coconut oil and then I pop plain popcorn, add a little popcorn salt, drizzle a whole bunch of Kerrygold on there, and you don't even have to use that much. It has so much flavor, and it was amazing. It was amazing. I wish I had a whirly pop now, but I wish I had a whirly. Now I'm craving a whirly pop because I haven't had popcorn in a long time. But yeah, this butter, have this with your instant mashed potatoes. It's amazing. It is amazing. And then there's also a secret ingredient. And yeah. And because there's only 23 of you, I'll tell you what that secret ingredient is. Okay, so this is, oh wait, no, you also need to put garlic in. Like we have minced garlic. This is the secret ingredient. You don't even have to use that much. I would only use like something like half a teaspoon, 1 teaspoon or half a teaspoon. But put this in the water. So you know when you make the mashed potatoes, if let's say it says like 2 cups of water, I would use like half a teaspoon or 1 teaspoon of this stuff. Add a hunk of butter. I don't measure this stuff. I'll just cut out a hunk like this big. And then add in your granulated garlic. Let the mashed potatoes, you know, it takes like 5 minutes to make. Let the mashed potatoes sit. Add a bunch of pepper in. Mix it again. Add more garlic. And ta-da! It's so good. It's so tasty. This stuff really makes it kind of like restaurant quality. I'm not BSing you guys. This stuff is amazing. So I've been kind of experimenting with this stuff. And if you guys see this in the store, buy it. If you like mashed potatoes, buy it. Really, I'm dead serious here. Like this kind of stuff will make your mashed potatoes taste so much better. So it's a better than bouillon roasted garlic base. I'm going to link this in my description later if you guys want to click on my affiliate link. But yeah, it's really good. And we haven't even used that much. Let's see how much we've used. Okay, we used a fair bit. But yeah, it is good. So this stuff plus granulated garlic or like dried garlic chunks. That's really good. So I only use that, and then I'm gonna try this one. I heard this one was good. Earlier I bought this like generic supermarket brand. This is like $4. So this is like $4, and this will last you many, many, many batches. So this is good. And then this stuff, yeah. So you could probably make a whole bunch. I mean, you guys know mashed potatoes in a restaurant is super expensive. I've seen it. I used to go to, where was that place? Oh my gosh, I can't remember it. It's frick, I have it on the tip of my tongue. But it was in Hawaii. It was at War Theaters. Oh my gosh, I can't remember it. Oh, what was the name of that place? It had this like, hold on, let me look that up. It had like it had a poke table, if you guys know which one that is. It's a chain restaurant. Oh, Buca de Beppo. That was it. Buca. So I am, if you go to Buca de Beppo, you usually buy like this much mashed potatoes, and they said it serves 2. Bullshit. It only serves 1. So if you buy that, it's like $4, and then you figure you could buy the whole freaking jar of this and make gallons of mashed potatoes for $4, and then you add in your Kerrygold butter. And then you add in your granulated garlic, and it is so tasty. Yeah, so that's all you have to do. And really would recommend it. If anybody makes mashed potatoes and you're not too happy about it, add this stuff in. Add this Kerrygold butter in, and you will be amazing. I don't make it with mashed potatoes. You guys could say that I'm lazy and I don't want to steam it. I think instant mashed potatoes is perfectly fine. Yeah, Kerrygold is the best. I've tried another one like Finlanda or something like that. I've tried other brands, but I always tend to go back to Kerrygold. I won't I yeah, I think there's one called Finlandia, something like that. I didn't care for it. It was more expensive than Kerrygold. I bought it once because Kerrygold was out of stock locally, and I wasn't impressed by it. Some people like it more than Kerrygold. I am a salted gold label. I think silver is unsalted. Gold label Kerrygold. This is really the gold standard of butter for me. I will not budge on that. You will not be seeing me buying supermarket butter for sure. And one thing about Kerrygold is if you look at the color, it's a really nice yellow color. Sometimes if you go to a grocery store, it has a really pale yellow color. This is like a rich. See that? See how rich that yellow is? So it's more nutritious for you and it has a lot more flavor. It is worth the extra price premium for this stuff. For sure. For sure. So, yeah. Food is something that I do not like to cheap out on too much. We're not buying expensive foods, but when it comes to ingredients, I really do believe in spending money for better quality stuff. The eggs that we eat is pasture raised eggs. The butter that we use is Kerrygold, and we don't eat out, so we save money and we eat better because of this. And you know, Lewis, he has all his Gardein patties and things like that, and yeah, that is very expensive. But my own, you know, what I eat for myself, I don't have a very expensive diet. I'll have something like bone broth, and then I'll add some squash inside of there, and it's, you know, scrambled eggs. Sometimes I'll eat tuna with mayo and crackers, and yeah, I try to. I don't have a, but the stuff that I do eat, I try to keep it at kind of like a higher quality. I don't eat spam. I don't eat like processed foods too often. Oh man, that's, you know what that sounds like, Dishra? That sounds like a mashed potato. Champ is mashed potato. Oh, mashed potatoes with chopped. Yeah, that sounds like a mashed potatoes. That sounds so good. Ooh, that sounds tasty. Man, yeah, I got some green onions actually. I could do that. I also have some heavy whipping cream, which I dived, and I could actually put that inside of the mashed potatoes. But I made a whole bunch of mashed potatoes yesterday, so I don't really need to make more mashed potatoes today. Yeah, if we run out of food, the one thing that I always want to make sure I stockpile is mashed potatoes now. So we only have like one bag lying around the apartment. I want to see how this tastes like, and if Lewis likes it, then I'll be buying like 4 boxes of this stuff. Always good to make sure that you have a lot. So this is what I do, and this is just like a little thought about how I stockpile. So I'm not that kind of person that if I buy stuff, I'm buying like 20 at one time. Sometimes, like, if I was to do this, I'd buy like maybe 3 boxes. And then next week, I'll buy like 3 boxes. And then as I use it, maybe if I use like 1 box a week, then I'll buy like 2 boxes and 2 boxes every week. It's a slow way of accumulating stuff. For us, I always make sure every single week we buy 2 bars of Kerrygold butter because we go through at least 1 bar a week. We go through a lot of butter. And it's not a bad thing at all. It's not a bad thing. Some people would say like, oh, you know, going through all that butter is bad, but I rather eat butter than having vegetable oil. I don't like the idea of going through so much vegetable oil at all. Yeah. So, yeah, I've been you know, just kind of, I was telling Lewis, I said, yeah, if anything happened, then I want to always make sure that we have enough food so we could bunker in just in case, you know. We live in New York. New York is kind of one of those hot spots. If anything, if shit hits the fan, then you want to make sure that you don't have to, you know, fight everyone and go into the grocery stores. That's what I learned from April. April, when there was the pandemic happening, people were rushing over to Trader Joe's. The line at Trader Joe's, I kid you not, you guys, it was like 2 hours long. And you know, I thought to myself, I never want to place myself in a position where I have to, if I cannot buy groceries for one week, then we will go hungry. So ever since then, it's been on my mind. Make sure you always order a little bit more food. And it's not, it's not like we have shelves and shelves and shelves of food. We really don't. But it's enough that if we don't go to the grocery store for like 1 or 2, 3 weeks, we're okay. We're okay. Lewis would not be happy because we would definitely run out of his Gardein and his vegan patties. But if it comes to that kind of situation, then you're just happy that you have some food. And yeah, I never ever cleared out any shelves. So I've never been one of those people who says, "Oh, okay, I got to make sure that I take everything off the shelf." No, no, no. So, I would recommend that, make sure if anything happens, you guys know that people are going to be raiding the toilet paper idiotically for whatever reason. Make sure you have a month's supply of toilet paper, sitting around. So if you usually buy, let's say if you go through like 10 rolls of toilet paper a month, which I know is kind of low, but if you go through 10 rolls of toilet paper a month, make sure that one time you buy double the amount, and then you just, you always have that backup stash, because it's not going to be fun if things get worse and everyone's like, "Oh no, I got to make sure I have toilet paper," and then people are fighting themselves over toilet paper and they're like, "I don't have any toilet paper at home." It's just, yeah, I don't want to be part of that, I need toilet paper, so I'm gonna get aggressive because I really, really need something to wipe my butt. No. No. Yeah. Yeah, yeah. So, that's just my thinking, Make sure you guys be aware of your surroundings, stay safe, stock up on food. You guys don't have to go crazy with stocking up. It can be a slow thing. Kerrygold butter. Like I said, we go through 1 bar a week, so I always make sure we got 2 bars every week coming in, so that way whatever we go through, right, it's constantly getting replaced. I'm not clearing out the shelves. I don't want to be that kind of person who's like, "I want to get 12 bars of Kerrygold at one sitting." No, 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 no. But we'll see how things go. And the other thing too about prepping and stocking up on stuff, I don't see anything wrong with it as long as you make sure you eat it. So if you think, if you always, like, we always go through butter, right? So there's no problem with us stocking up on butter, because if I found out we had too much, guess what? I just don't have to get more butter, and then we can just go through our supply. And if you look at the expiration date on this stuff, it's October 14, 2021. So for sure we're going to get through this butter, for sure. And I'm also putting this stuff in the freezer. So I love having a freezer. I like making sure that we have a lot of food. And if we have food, then that is comforting to me, because I feel like, one of the things that I need to really make sure is that we always have enough food in case something happens. And we also have, other things as well. We have like LED lanterns. I thought, like, what if the power goes out? We have, we don't, we're not like full on prepping or anything like that, but we can actually bunker a little, a little. So, yeah, it's important, having things and making sure you have first aid stuff in case you need it, batteries, what else? Flashlights, bandages, yeah, just make sure you have a lot of stuff. And if you do have to bunker in, make sure you have hobbies. I have a lot of hobbies, and uh I have so much things I can amuse myself in. I'm lucky that I find it amusing. Lewis does not find a lot of the stuff I find amusing. He doesn't think floor arranging is, mentally stimulating, or home decorating is mentally stimulating, or um, knitting, that kind of stuff. Portable stove. I haven't bought a portable stove, but I thought about getting it. I'm kind of uncomfortable using like a butane burner, to be honest with you guys. Yeah. I also thought about buying a generator. I thought about getting a generator, but for some of those generators, you need to have it outdoors because it's like gas powered generators. And then the other thing, if you have a lithium ion generator, you guys, I don't know if I'm being paranoid, you guys, but I just don't feel comfortable with like big lithium ion batteries for reasons. When I see some of these generators, I think, oh, frick, what if something happens to that battery and we have like UPP mixes or something? That's just me. Um, so I've been kind of hesitant about getting a generator just because of the UPP incident. I wonder, like, man, if anything happened and I had a big lithium ion battery as a generator and then something overheated, yeah, it would not be good. I would feel absolutely terrible. But the bad thing about not having a generator is if the power goes out, we can't, there's not much we can do about our refrigerator. There's not much we can do about um, all the perishables inside of there. Refrigerators usually have like things like butter and rice or, some foods in there. Yeah. 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 Who has them? Yeah. So. Yeah, UPP. Yeah, yeah. We can't keep that inside. Like, it has to be outdoor generator. It has to be outdoor. But I've been kind of going down the slippery slope of prepping, and then I read things like, yeah, if you have a generator and you have to cook, make sure you keep the smells down so that way your neighbors can't smell you cooking. And I was like, oh my goodness, oh my goodness, oh my gosh. But it's given me some thoughts about it. Like, if, yeah, people are hungry and they say like, hey, look, that person is cooking outside, let's attack them. It's like a free for all, and there's more people outside than there are inside, and I just, yeah, um yeah, not good, not good. So yeah, but they have a lithium ion generators, but they're made in China, so I just feel a little apprehensive of getting them. I looked into it. I looked into a few brands on Amazon, and some of them are like kind of pricey. They're like 400, 500, $1,000, and I just thought like, man, I'm just scared about this battery exploding. I don't want to end up with like a firestorm inside of here, and there's so much wood all around. The floor is wood. If anything happens, right? It just, yeah, I'd be on edge. So, anyway, I gotta get going. Thanks for listening to me, and I really suggest you guys be mindful about the stuff that you have on you. If you don't, if you are going out shopping and let's say you want to buy a luxury handbag, which I think most of you won't do, put the damn thing in a nondescript bag. Put the bag or the purse or the expensive item inside of like a 99-cent store bag. I was telling, that's something that I feel, I don't care if what people think about me if I'm carrying, let's say, a bunch of stuff in a 99-cent store bag at all. I don't need to have this whole like, oh, look at me, I have a Hermes designer bag and I'm walking out of the shopping mall and that. Like, I don't need this kind of stuff. I've reached this point in my life where brand names, like, although I like this bag and although I think it's pretty cool, let me show you guys this. This bag, look at this bag. This bag, ooh, this bag was made in Italy. Look at that. So they don't even make their bags in China. They make their bags in Italy, and I just thought it was a cool bag to have. And maybe I should like clear out the closet a little and then make my section look all high maintenance and have like the Hermes stuff with like a LV box next to it or a Chanel box if I find one. And yeah, I think that would be kind of lolsy. Lolsy. Maybe I'll find another one of these bags and I can just put some packing paper or bubble wrap inside of it so it looks full, and I'll be like, yeah, I just want to show you guys my expensive closet. I really only like surrounding myself with expensive items, as you guys know. And here is some of the stuff that I have. Yeah. Yeah. It would just be kind of funny though. It's not, I'm not gonna go over to a luxury store anytime soon and be buying this kind of stuff because it's a safety risk. Mm. Mm. Yeah. I've seen some closet tours, and then they always have these like Chanel paper bags lying around and these Hermes paper bags lying around. In case you guys didn't know, in China, you guys can look this up. People used to buy paper bags like this. You wanna know why? Because they're so some people are so concerned with status symbol that when they are walking around, they want to be seen carrying these bags even if they don't have anything in there. Yeah, so they want to take an Instagram picture and they're like, "Yeah, I'm going to be, I'm just at Starbucks, here's my frappuccino I got." And then they have this bag smack dab in the shot like, "Yeah, I'm just casually drinking my frappuccino and just like look at this bag, but I'm not going to say anything, but I just want you to know that I have money and I can afford this kind of stuff." But when actuality, it could just be a paper bag and nothing inside of it except some packing paper. Image means a lot to some people, and I get it. I used to, and this is just something that I had in my life. Like I realized that some of the people that I knew that really liked to surround themselves with this luxury kind of stuff were some of the most insecure people that I met, that I knew in my life. Like they put so much value in the luxury items that they had that they didn't feel comfortable not having this kind of luxury item. And I think it's sad, when I look back and I recall how focused they were on their luxury items, and they didn't want to be seen in anything that wasn't branded because they didn't feel like they had they didn't feel as confident just being in, let's say, a shirt from Old Navy or a regular t-shirt. So they just like having their expensive stuff. And I look back and I think it's sad. I think it's sad because people should feel confidence within them regardless if they're carrying a luxury item on them or not. I mean, when it comes down to it, right, the most valuable thing in our lives is really our own life. And I stand by that. It's like without being alive, we wouldn't be able to see all the beautiful things we see in the world, or interact with all these people, or sharing all these memories, good and bad memories. So I don't like it when people place such a high focus on luxury items. It's nice, and like, don't get me wrong. There was one point in my life that I was looking up like luxury watches because I thought it would be nice and it would add to my image, but who I am as a person and your character is more important than, having a few luxury items. And the things that I remember about people when I look back in my 20s is I don't remember all the luxury items that people have as much as I remember how they treated me and how they treated other people. You could have people who were, wearing only Chanel lipstick, who had Chanel handbags, and they treated people like absolute crap. Absolute crap, because it's like they just get off on thinking that they're superior to other people. And mind you, these people are not multimillionaires, these people are not millionaires, but they use that luxury item as like a wedge. Like, I am better than you because I have this and you don't have that. And it's very short-sighted because let's say if I wanted to buy a Chanel purse, right? Chanel purse is like $4,000. I could buy a Chanel purse if I wanted to. However, I don't see any desire to buy a Chanel purse. What could I do with that $4,000? I don't, having that Chanel purse, first of all, it would be a depreciating asset. Even if I bought it new, once I sell it, people are not going to want to pay full price. They're definitely not going to want to pay above retail for it. So I'm only going to be losing money if I resell it. And then that kind of stuff, it's not, I can't do anything with it. A bag just carries stuff. That's all a bag does. A bag doesn't do anything except carry your crap. It just carries this stuff. Like, see, I have a bag, and this is a $5 handbag, and it was used, but it gets the job done. And look, I even have like 2 zippers over here. So yeah, I don't see the point in that kind of stuff. I think that people who use their luxury goods and they use it as a means to look down upon others, it's a really sad and kind of pathetic thing to do. Yeah. Especially if that person is not rich and they're getting themselves into debt because of it. And I've seen several people in my life do that. They will spend their paycheck on luxury stuff, and then they'll be like, look at me, I have this, I have this. And then you find out their financials, and they're broke or they're in debt because they just got so consumed with the image that they didn't think about their finances. And tell me, who's going to be happier down the line, right? A person who has all this luxury stuff, which they have to sell at a discount. And most likely, people who have luxury items, they don't sell it. They just keep it in their closet or they toss it away. Or the person who feels financial freedom. And I think financial freedom is more important than having luxury goods. Or you can always circle back, right? You can always save your money and then circle back and then have like little touches of luxury here and there. But, or if you make lots of money, then yeah, go right ahead, get a Lambo if you want. But I don't agree with the whole mindset of chasing this kind of image and spending all your money on stuff, because at the end of the day, our economy and the stock market relies on consumerism. If people did not spend their money on stuff, then these companies would not be as profitable as they are. Yeah. Yep, you're right. So, yeah, people who have like a lot of luxury items, let's say they're always so used to buying like the current season and things like that, right? If they run out of money, they're like, "Oh, frick, I got to keep this image up so that way people think I'm cool." And I don't think it's right. I don't think it's right if you surround yourself with people who are only with you because of your image, right? So, there are individuals who will only flock to other individuals because they're trendsetters or they're cool, or there's this perception that they have a lot of money or they'll spend money on their friends. Those people are, they're not people of high quality in my opinion, or they're very shallow and superficial. I don't like surrounding myself around people like that. The people that I surround myself with tend to be really frugal people, people who care more about sharing experiences with others, not showing off with what they have, but money saving ideas, sharing experiences, doing things in a manner that you push people to be more financially savvy. And that's what I think is really important. So yeah, sometimes you have people who are very superficial, and then once you lose that superficialness, then they don't think you're cool anymore. And then there's other people, right? They only want to be around with you because you go to, let's say, nice restaurants, or you're always going on shopping trips. And then if you take away the nice restaurants and you take away the shopping trips, what is there really to bond over? There might not be anything to really bond over. And I had that phase in my life. I had that phase where I used to go shopping every single week, back in my early 20s, back in my teenage years, because what kind of, a lot of teenagers are hanging around the shopping malls, or, you know, um, going to the movies. Not really the movies, but you get what I'm saying. Like doing teenage things, just walking around. Yeah, I look back at that and it's like those people, I don't talk to them anymore. It's not because I hate them, but I've changed so much from that. I don't find any real, let's put it this way. I don't mind going shopping, but I know myself very well. If I go to a shopping mall, I'm not really going to buy anything unless I really need to buy something, because there's just so much stuff that I don't need. I don't need a lot of stuff, and then if I want to really find something, most likely because I'm a diver, I could find it. If I wanted hangers, I could find it. It's just a matter of time. Yeah. So you guys, the reason why I like my MacBook is not because of a status thing. I like my MacBook because it's easy for me to use. I like MacBooks because because it's, it just works with me. I have a 2012 MacBook. There's nothing to be, really like, oh, look at me, I'm so top quality. This is an 8-year-old computer. If I really wanted to show off to other people, I'd get a much newer computer. But you know what? I love Cleo. She's 8 years old. I'm happy she lasted so long. She did need a lot more repairs. She had more repairs than what she's worth. Easy, easy. I think I spent 1,100 on her when I first got her, and the amount of repairs that she's had on her was over 1,100. But you know what? I like my computer. I like my computer. Yep, buying used is definitely good. Because the thing is that, like, for this one, right? I could have bought a watering can for George earlier, but I thought, hey, you know what? I have a bottle lying around. I have a funnel. Let me just use that, or let me use one of the coffee jugs that I'm not using, and let me use that because it's just improvising. But I definitely could have bought a watering can earlier. It's just when I saw this in the recycle bin, I was like, ooh, let me rescue it. So now George has a watering can. It was not a high priority thing. I always could just do a makeshift thing instead. But yeah, if you buy things used, the good thing about that is you don't take the depreciation hit. So, for instance, right? If I bought this new, this would have cost me $4.99. And I'm kind of surprised because I've never really seen watering cans that cheap, at least where I go in Brooklyn. But this was only $4.99. So if, let's say, a person was to buy this in a thrift store, they would most likely price this about $3, $2, $1. It would not be full price. So it's really smart to buy things used, or join a buy nothing group, join free cycle. I don't really like free cycle, but I would highly recommend buy nothing groups or Craigslist. And you could put it in search of ad, and maybe someone's moving out and they'll be like, hey, I have a watering can that you can have for free. So you save the environment, you save money, and that's the way to go. I would recommend, though, if you are diving, or doing this kind of buy nothing sort of thing, you always have to be mindful about what you have. So there is a dumpster diver that I met in Manhattan, and she's I might have I know you guys heard her voice on one of my streams before, but she's been diving in Manhattan for a number of years. She says for the amount of stuff that she can get in one year, she estimates that she gets about $30,000 worth of stuff a year from diving, because she can get expensive furniture, she can get expensive groceries. She said she got bags and bags and bags and bags of shrimp one winter, and she said it was like hundreds of dollars worth of shrimp. For whatever reason, some store was getting rid of it. And yeah, well, the problem is that, like, if you live in a small little apartment, it's easy for your place to get overrun. I've seen it in this apartment, and I try to be very, very mindful about what I bring in. You guys see what I brought in today. It's just hangers and a watering can, and a candle and 2 cups. It's not everything that was over there, but everything that I pick up does have a purpose. And if you are a diver, or if you are a freegan, or if you are a thrift store shopper, it's kind of easy to get, to start kind of collecting things and think, oh, I need to grab every single item. If I see 60 yogurts, I need to grab 40 yogurts and pack myself to the gills. And that's not the case. That's really not the case. Yeah, so she says her place is packed full of figurines and things like that. And she was telling me like when she saw me collecting all the fake flowers. I really don't have that much, by the way. I only have like maybe 15 stems or so. But she was telling me, like, yeah, you have to watch out, because if you live in Manhattan, especially, you always have this access to all this stuff. It's easy to think like, oh, okay, I'll take this figurine and this figurine and this figurine and this figurine, and the next thing you know, right, your whole place is cluttered with figurines and Halloween and Christmas stuff. So yeah, she was saying that some stores, they throw away these huge nutcrackers, and then she has a few of them in her apartment, and that's just seasonal stuff, right? It's diving has really affected me in the diving has really affected me because I don't want to buy holiday seasonal stuff. You know, I have zero desire to buy Thanksgiving stuff. I have zero desire to buy Christmas stuff because I know if I just wait it out, I'm going to find it. You know, people are going to give it away, or our stores are going to toss it away, and I might as well just stock up. You know, stock up for the holiday stuff the year in advance. So I can guarantee you once I don't know when they're throwing away the Halloween stuff. You know, I didn't go diving on Monday. I really should have gone diving, but I you know, you guys saw me with all the clothes that I picked up instead, but yeah, all the Halloween stuff gets tossed out, and if you save it or if you have the storage space, you can collect it. And the next year, right, once holiday season comes up, take that stuff out, put it up, and then if you find more Halloween stuff after Halloween, then collect it and save it and use it for the next year. And that way you end up with a collection. It can end up being a sizable amount of stuff, and you don't even pay a penny for it, or you pay a very, very, very low cost. If you're a dumpster diver like I am, the amount that you pay for this stuff is 000. But I have very little Halloween stuff. I have like eight little pumpkins, and then one little crazy looking jack-o'-lantern guy, and that's it. Christmas stuff, well, I already got my Christmas tree from last year, so I'm not too worried about it. I have zero desire to decorate for Christmas right now. Zero desire. Oh, wait, no, wait, I do have someone. I have my cheap Halloween decoration, which is this guy. See? Look. So I have, you know, it's like you just prepare for the holidays in advance, and that's the smart way to do things. And I think that when Lewis and I, you know, if we move over to a house and then we actually have a basement, there is a possibility that I can, you know, stock up for holidays the year prior. So let's say I want to do Thanksgiving. As I said before, right? I get the Thanksgiving stuff after this Thanksgiving, keep it in storage. Next Thanksgiving, I take all that stuff out. And then it's like, oh, look, I'm so decorated. You know, I prepared for Thanksgiving. Yeah, I have a few things from the year prior when stores were tossing it out. That's the smart way to go about things. I don't think that paying full price for Thanksgiving stuff is really a good thing to do, because it's going to get discounted heavily anyway. And if you really, really like it, probably should just wait a bit. Yeah. I've also read that some stores, listen to this, they have so much Christmas stuff and they can't get rid of it. They heavily discount it, and sometimes you can get like $1,000 Christmas tree for only a couple bucks. So we have zero space for $1,000 Christmas tree. But can you imagine, like, if I went dumpster diving and then I found a pre-lit Christmas tree that's worth $1,000 in the dumpster? Man, I would be so tempted to just bring it over home. I would be tempted to bring it home and be like, look at us, we spent so much money on this expensive Christmas tree. Um, but yeah, so a lot of the stuff that you see around the apartment, it was free. A lot of the stuff that is around this apartment, it's things that I found. It's like treasure finds, and basically all my arts and crafts stuff that I have was all free. And I like it that way. If I want to get rid of it, I just give it back out, you know, post it in a buy nothing group, drop it off at the free store. And yeah, it costs me nothing, so I have no problem letting it go for nothing. It's a good mentality to have. I don't want to put money into a lot of this stuff, especially with the way I am. It's easy for me to get bored of stuff, and then if I get bored of stuff, I'm like, oh, I don't want it anymore. I just get rid of it, and then all that money is out the window. I used to have that problem when I was a teenager. I used to spend a lot of money buying all this stuff, and then I had to give away a lot of the stuff because I just got bored of it. So I changed my habits, and then now it's like whenever I dive, it's like finding a treasure. It's like finding a treasure, and then if I get bored of it, I have zero guilt about letting it go, because I think like, well, I found it, so I might as well just, yeah, give it away. Oh, thank you, Krillin. And it's eco-friendly. I do not know who Steve and Steph on YouTube are. Who are they? Can you tell me really quickly? Who are those people? Like, I'm so used to people asking me about cat channels. Oh, the biggest dumpster diver. Oh, yeah, I know there's like all those dumpster diver channels out there. I forgot the name of it, but there's like Scavenger Mike. I've seen his channel, and yeah, yeah. But no, I don't really know the names of people very well. I watch a few of the channels and I kind of get dumpster envy because I look at their dumpsters and I look at our dumpsters and I'm like, okay, well, here you guys go again. Like if I had a dumpster channel, I'd be like, hey, you guys, here we go again. We got like 60 yogurts over here. Yep, 60 yogurts. And next week, yep, we got more yogurts. I find so much yogurts when we dive. So much yogurts. Oh, wow. Yeah, the problem with that kind of dumpster diving YouTubes I've heard of allegations where people are staging things. So that way they bring in viewers like you can't believe what I found this week or you can't believe what I found, that kind of stuff and it's easy to stage that kind of stuff. For me, obviously, what you see is not anything that I'm staging. But I can understand if you have a YouTube channel and you really want to get the viewers in, there's a pressure. There might be that desire to add in, let's say, Beats or a MacBook in there, or a high value thing in, or a Chanel purse. So that way people are like, oh my gosh, wow, that's such a great find. Yeah, I really should go diving in like the rich areas of New York and see what I find. I want to get like a I want to get a Burberry trench coat for some weird reason. Maybe it's because I'm cold all the time, but I kind of want to find a Burberry trench coat and then walk around with it. Oh, wait, hold up a second. If I walk around with the Burberry trench coat, then become a target. I don't know. I still want a Burberry trench coat because I think it's cool. It's cool. But I would only want a a cream colored one, like the classic town color one, and that's it. Oh, Brooklyn Moms. Oh, wow. You know what? I'm gonna check that out. Thank you, Krillin. Thank you so much. I gotta look up this Brooklyn Mom thing now. I check out like Flatbush Cats. I haven't seen their channel in a while, but Flatbush Cats, they feed cats, stray cats, and it's kind of encouraged me to go out and if I see a stray cat, just feed a stray cat. Sometimes, I'll film it for you guys whenever I see a stray cat. Or maybe I'll see the cat again and you guys will recognize it, but I haven't really seen any stray cats in a while. I think I've only filmed 3 on my channel. Yeah. There was one that was kind of like Milk, and then there was another one, Inky, and then there was that other male cat that spayed the car tire lately. But if you are into dumpster diving, people do make money off dumpster dive finds. Like sometimes they will have like boxes and boxes of candy, and then you can sell the candy. Obviously I don't do that kind of stuff. People, if you go to like Bed Bath and Beyond, the candles, some people they sell it. They'll sell the wax to other people on dumpster diving groups, or they'll sell broken candles. Even broken candles, I didn't know this, but broken candles have a value because there are people who cut the even if there's glass all around it, they'll cut up the candle and use it in a wax warmer. I don't feel comfortable having a wax warmer in this apartment, so that's not something I would be doing. Having like a candle like this around the house, it would be solely for decorative use. So I would clean out the soot from here and then maybe refill the candle, melt the wax and refill the candle a little so that way it's a little higher. And then yeah, so that way it looks like a fuller candle, and it's not because I'm intending to do anything with it, but yeah, I just like having a decoration of a candle around the house. We have a bunch of candles around the house. We have like one big candle on the mantelpiece, which you've seen, and then we have some fake candles, fake LED candles. I do not want any fire hazards around this apartment, so I don't burn real candles around this apartment. No, I haven't seen Inky. I have not seen Inky at all. If I saw Inky, I would have streamed Inky. But no, I've only seen him once, and that was it. That was it. Okay, you guys. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I really got to get going. So I will talk to you guys later. You guys take care. I'm curious to see who's gonna win. And really quickly, because I have 27 viewers over here. I know I'm a big channel. I don't let it get to my head. But who do you think's gonna win the election? Do you think Trump's gonna win, or do you think Biden's gonna win? Really quickly, I'm very curious because I wanna see what people think. And actually, maybe I should also put a poll on my community page. You think okay? Okay. Okay, so I have shared. Okay, so overwhelmingly, you guys think Trump's gonna win. The people that I personally know tell me that they think Trump's gonna win. Some of these people are avid Trump supporters, and my thinking is this. I think Trump is going to win. And the reason why I think Trump is going to win is even if people think, oh, yeah, Trump is a moron, or, what they're hearing about on CNN, or all this criticism of him, Trump supporters are incredibly loyal. And it's very rare for people to get so riled up and, basically be so in love with a presidential candidate. So because of this, I think that those people who are Trump supporters are going to make sure 100% that they go over to the polls, and they're going to make sure that they show up. So even if you have a group of people who are, who do not like Trump, or they're Biden's fans, they're going to be like, yeah, okay, well, I don't like Trump, but yeah, I'm not going to really vote. The voter turnout for Trump, I think, is going to be stronger than the voter turnout for Biden. It's not because I think a majority of people like Trump. And I say this because, what I see in the mainstream news and what I also see on these polls, they all say that Biden's going to win. I think people cannot underestimate how much love Trump supporters have for Trump. And I, like I said, I say this as someone who knows people who are Trump supporters, who bet money that Trump is going to win, and they made damn sure that they're going to go over and vote. So my bet is Trump is going to win. Also, doesn't help that, there was some clips of Biden, possibly with dementia, saying that, we have to make sure that he has to make sure that he beats Joe Biden. It's like, what? Joe Biden wants to make sure that he beats himself? I don't get it. But that kind of stuff, and I think, kind of hurt him. And it just makes you think, right? If people don't vote for, if Biden got into office, right, do people feel comfortable with Kamala Harris possibly becoming president? And from what I hear, Kamala Harris does not have a very good approval rating. It always kind of bothered me how she has that really insincere laugh. You guys, if you guys watch it, she has like this big laugh, and it just grates me the wrong way. So people might be, big Biden fans, but they might not like Kamala. So I don't know. It's between a rock and a hard place. I personally think he should have had Tulsi instead. Not biased here, but yeah, I'm a big fan of Tulsi. The other Joe Biden. I think if Trump, I mean, if not, if Biden does not win, I fully blame it on being due to his vice. I fully blame it that he picked Kamala Harris. That would be it. Like if he lost, I would put the blame solely on that. I don't think, I think, some people, it's like, yeah, even if he had questions about his cognitive decline, I think they would just, he just didn't pick a very likable VP. So yeah, my bet is Trump is going to win, and yeah, if Trump doesn't win and Biden wins, I expect there to be, a lot of people protesting out on the street saying that it was fake and things like that. And if Trump wins, of course, you're going to have people be like, wait, how could Trump win? All the polls said Biden was going to win. He was a shoo-in. And yeah, I stick to my statement. The Trump supporters are a lot more dedicated to voting than Biden supporters in the event that Trump won. Because I hear all this stuff about people saying like, no, there's no way Trump can win, and yeah, just never underestimate the loyalty of people who who really feel strongly in making sure that their candidate wins. And yeah, that's something that I think that kind of fierce loyalty and fierce that strong love for Trump is not something I really heard from Biden supporters. But, we'll see. We'll see what happens. Biden wins, Trump wins. Whatever happens, I will be I just hope no violence occurs, right? Because whatever happens, whoever gets elected president, I think that, that's what happens. You can put court cases in there, but ultimately just don't lash out at your own community, don't burn down buildings or destroy buildings or cause violence. So yeah, and yeah, if Biden loses and Trump wins, despite what the polls say, I strongly believe, it's because of Trump supporters. Like they're very fiercely loyal to him, and yeah, they make sure they go out to vote for sure, for sure. Yeah. So anyway, I'm at 5% battery. I'll talk to you guys later. I'm going to do a community post asking people, if I can do a poll, asking people who they think will win. I'm not going to ask who you voted for, but I'm going to ask who you think will win. See ya.